All right, so we're going to disconnect this light on the Surron. If you have a Surron and you'll know that the light is always on when you're riding this thing. You can get a switch to switch the light on and off. I just want to rid the light altogether, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get into it. First things first, make sure the battery's off, all the power's off, flick your breaker off. Safety first. Next thing, we have to undo these two little Allen keys here near the ignition switch. So we're going to undo them. Actually, before you do that, you're going to disconnect your whole battery just to be super duper extra safe. So you're going to come in, you should know what you're doing here, unplug these two, undo this one, pop this one off, pull your battery out, then get back to undoing these bolts. So once they're undone, pop this little module off. It can be a little bit of a pain to get out, but there we go. Out this comes. We're going to find a couple of these connectors in here. Now what we're looking for is this little rubbery bit with a few connectors in it. There'll be 3 different connectors going on here. Now the one we want, I've marked it. So there's one going in with a red and a green wire. Well, there's 2 going in with red and green wires into a white plug. The light is this black one. If you can see, it's got a couple of little marks, WTT, I don't know if they're all gonna be the same, but it's black on black. Pop that out. Grab yourself a little bit of electrical tape just to be safe. More of a water getting in, all that sort of stuff. Tape it up. Make sure she's nice and snug. Don't be shy with your bloody electrical tape. Get around it. All right. If you can, try and do both ends. Obviously this end that's in this little rubbery thing is quite tedious to get to, so I don't even know how I'm going to do that one. Hold on. If you've got yourself some pointy nose pliers, you should be able to grab it, pull it out a little bit. Obviously don't pull too hard because you might pull some wires out. It'd be good if they made little caps or something, but they probably do. I'm not a certified electrician, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm going to wrap that around there. Should be right. If you tuck it right into that little plastic thing too, I'd say it should be fine, but I also don't take my word for it. If it blows up on me, I'll let you know. That's pretty much the disconnection part. While I'm at it, I'm going to disconnect the back light too. There's also a little tail light here that normally lights up. So this one's pretty easy. You just undo, there's a couple of little nuts on the back of this. Undo that, pull them out from here, tuck that cable up into your seat. Actually, we'll just be safe again too. Before you tuck it into your seat, give it a little bit of electrical wrap up. Again, it's more for just things like water and that getting in. If you give it a bit of a wash or you go through a big puddle, who knows? A little bit more protection goes a long way. So, tuck that one up into the seat. Oh, everything's dropping. All right, so that's done, tucked up. You can leave that there. You can put that back on if you want, or you can just leave it off. The more I look at it, probably gonna leave it off personally. So we tuck all these cables back in, try and tuck them in obviously as neat as you can, just so everything goes in a bit better. So we're gonna slip that down the back there somewhere, so hopefully it's out of the way. Get them right out the way. This is a little bit awkward. You have to like put it in on a bit of a weird angle. No, we're still struggling here. All right. It is a bit snug and tight, but you will get it. So then come in here, smash these Allen keys back up. All right, so definitely make sure you don't pin it down and pinch any of your wires. Make sure they all come out this top little bit here. Now, obviously too, I've disconnected my light. There's no point in it being there. So to take it off, I've actually realized that I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to take the bars off. We might be able to tweak the bars, but I don't think that's, okay, maybe we can, hold on. We crack this a little bit. All right, loosey goosey. Look at that, bit of a tweak there. So this has 4 bolts in it. The first 2 bolts are pretty easy to get to. These one and the one on the other side. But again, you're gonna have to loosen your stem up a little bit to get these bolts out. Spin her around that way. Undo this second bolt. This light should pop off here, and hopefully, it's a bit snug in all these cables. If we get it out through that one. Didn't think this part through, boys and girls, at all. Might have to keep that off first. And if you want to take your light off, don't put your ignition switch on first. Note to self. And also thinking about it, if you're actually getting rid of the whole light, you actually don't need to tape it up because that'll come out with it, if that makes sense. That was actually a pretty stupid thing to do. So definitely don't do it up if you want to take the whole light off. It'll come around here. I think there's a little rubber thing here somewhere that I'm gonna have to, it's got these little rubber things that hold all the cables together. You'll have to undo them. One of them, bang, Bob's your uncle, light off, like I said, if you're keeping your light on because you did want to hook it up later on, you'd tape it up, but if you're completely getting rid of that light, no need to tape it up. Now, light's gone, so I'm probably going to put these bolts back into the triple clamp just so I don't lose them and they don't end up floating around getting lost. So whack them back in. All right, so they're all nice and snug. Make sure too, don't forget to tighten your head stem back up because that will, you'll end up in some grief there, ladies and gentlemen. And I just realised too, make sure you put your little rubber thing back on your cables, keep them all together. It definitely helps keep everything a little bit nice and neat for you. Looking pretty straight to me. Tighten that head stem back up nice and snug. Bars are all tightened back up, so we'll go back, we'll put the ignition switch back in there. Again, just make sure it's sort of tuck all those cables away nicely and it all should go in semi good. Lift that up, slip it in. Bob's your uncle. Alright, again, just make sure those cables aren't pinching anywhere when you tighten it off. Make sure she's nice and snug so it doesn't rattle off on you when you're ripping. That's that sorted. Battery back in. Plug her back in. Bang. Bang. Well, back on, switch on, and we are good to go. No front headlight, no rear headlight, tail light, I mean. See you later.